Okay, welcome to another episode of Black Atlas Goings On. My name is Kenny, aka Black Atlas, and on this episode we are going to be doing another recipe in the sous vide. It is going to be Hoisin-Glazed chicken drumsticks. Now, as I go through the ingredients and we go through the steps, I want you to keep this picture in mind. Keep this picture in mind because I've read over the steps. It is not going to look like that. And at the end, I'll tell you why. So we're going to go ahead and go through the ingredients. And then after that, we're going to go through the steps one by one. So we have 12 chicken drumsticks. Then we have 6 tablespoons of hoisin sauce. 6 tablespoons of soy sauce, a half tablespoon of garlic chili sauce, a quarter teaspoon of rice vinegar, 2 tablespoons of honey, and 1 teaspoon of sriracha. So, what we are going to do, step 1, it says mix the drumsticks with 3 tablespoons of hoisin sauce, 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, garlic chili sauce, and vinegar. And so we're going to go ahead and get that mixed up, and then we'll come back when it's time for the next step. Okay, so I got the drumsticks all mixed up in here with the 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of hoisin, the rice vinegar, and also the garlic chili sauce. And now the next step says put marinade and chicken drumsticks in a food safe bag, line them up, and then vacuum seal it. And then it would be better if the chicken could be put in the fridge for about an hour and a half before cooking. So I'll go ahead and get those chicken drumsticks loaded up and vacuum sealed, and I'll show you what they look like before we get them put in the fridge for an hour and a half. Okay, here is what the chicken looks like, vacuum sealed in the bag. And I am going to go ahead and get the chicken put in the refrigerator for an hour and a half. And while I get the sous vide ready and get this vacuum sealer put away and get these dishes done. So I will see y'all when it is time to put it in the sous vide. Okay, so it has been about an hour and a half in the refrigerator. And so the sous vide is up to temperature 176 degrees. And then we are going to set it for 5 hours after we go ahead and get the drumsticks in there. So the next step says put the bag in the water bath and boil for about 5 hours. So let's go ahead. I'll get it out of the refrigerator, bring it over and show it to you, and then we'll get it in the water bath. All right, let's see if it fits in there. Okay, so the chicken is in there, and let me go ahead and set that for 5 hours. 5 hours. And then we'll move on to the next step when it is time. Okay, so the sous vide timer is done, and I got the fryer on preheating, so I'm going to go ahead and get the drumsticks taken out of the bag and put on this rack here so I can pat them dry before they got to go in the fryer. So let's go ahead and get that done. Action. Okay, so we have them out of the sous vide. They do not look that appetizing, but here is what they look like before they go into the fryer. So I am going to go ahead and get them taken out of the bag and put on this rack and pan, then get them patted dry before we put them in the fryer. So I'll see y'all when we're about to fry. Okay, here is what the wings look like. I did go ahead Here is what the wings look like now. I did go ahead and pat them dry. They are still glistening a little bit. So I will go ahead and get everything ready to get them in the fryer. And then I will go ahead and use the other 4 ingredients and make the quick sauce in the pot, because I was actually supposed to do that 2 steps ago. Says put the remaining 3 tablespoons of hoisin sauce, 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of honey, and the 1 teaspoon of sriracha sauce in a pan and heat it on medium for about 7 to 8 minutes. So we are going to go ahead and get those remaining ingredients put in a little pot and get that heated up. And then we're going to get these wings fried. So once I get all of that done, because you don't need to see me just mix the sauce in a pan to make it hot. And then I'm going to go ahead and start getting these wings fried, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so we got the sauce on the stove going right now, and I'm about to go ahead and toss the first 6 pieces into the fryer, in the fryer basket. So let's go ahead and get some of this done. I know you can hear that grease popping. Okay, so I had put the first 6 of the drumsticks in the basket and I was about to put them in the fryer. Then I turned around and realized that my battery died. So I didn't want to drop them in the fryer without y'all seeing it. So let's go ahead and get these first 6 pieces in there. I will see y'all in about 3 to 5 minutes. I don't know if y'all can hear me over the popping and bubbling from the fryer, but I will see y'all in 3 to 5 minutes. All right, so the first 6 pieces are done. We are going to go ahead and get them out and on the tray. And remember, the chicken was fully cooked before it even went in there. This is just to crisp up the skin. And so let's get these 6 out on the tray and get the last 6 in. And this is what they look like coming fresh out of the fryer. And then they're going to have sauce drizzled on them afterwards. Dropping in. See y'all in another 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, I've got all 12 drumsticks out of the fryer. So the next thing to do is going to be to put the sauce on there. So what I did is I put it in a little ramekin right here. And I'm going to grab a brush and brush these. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all cleaned up and then get the sauce brushed on the wings and get them in a nicer container. And then we'll go ahead and go in for that taste test. Okay, so here are the wings. Here is the final product. And so we are going to go ahead and get that taste test in. Okay, so first, my top light is dying on my camera. So I'm starting to look shadowy. I'm starting to look like a locked character on a video game. So let's get this taste test in so we can roll up out of here. So here we go. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. That is delicious. especially with the extra sauce spread on top of it. Because after I put it in this container, I did drizzle more of the sauce on top of it. That is amazing. And man, that's all I can say. The chicken is juicy. The skin is still crispy. That sauce is delicious. It's nicely flavored. And yeah. So with that being said, thank you all for joining. This has been Hoisin-Glazed chicken drumsticks done in the Blitz Home Sous Vide. My name is Kenny, aka Black Atlas, and thank y'all for joining me on another episode of Black Atlas Goings On. Until next time, I'll catch y'all on the flip side.